Good morning, Gators. I'd like to start today's message by answering a few questions that I received yesterday that affect quite a few of you, specifically the topic of refunds for trips. Yesterday, I received a few questions about the status of our efforts to retrieve your money. So here's the latest. The band trip to Spain has been complicated by the fact that the ground tour company shut down its operations for a minimum of 30 days as required by their national government, just a couple of days before our schools were closed. Spain has been pretty hard hit by the coronavirus, and so they took extraordinary measures early on to close down their operations. So it's probably going to take us quite some time to get that money back if we ever do. The airlines involved in that trip have also not been inclined to give us any money back at all, so we're going to have to probably seek relief elsewhere. The school district may be able to help us in this particular area. However, I've received no specifics on any plan to do so from anyone at the district level. I will be reaching out to them to see where we are with a plan in that regard. The orchestra trip to Boston and New York has quite a few moving parts. One of the airlines, JetBlue, has committed to giving us vouchers for future travel. The other has flatly refused to give us any money back, and that would be American Airlines. The hotel that we were using there, DoubleTree, which is part of the Hilton company, has issued refunds to anyone affected by this outbreak. However, as our arrangements were made by a travel agent, we have to seek a refund from the travel agency, which at this time is not inclined to give us one, or at the very least assess a heavy cancellation fee. We're still working on that situation. The news is a little better on the choir trip. The airline we were using there, Hawaiian, has stated that they will give us a full refund. However, the company that hosts the festival and does a lot of the coordination of lodging, entertainment, etc., is steadfastly refusing to refund any money despite our attempts to get some movement on that decision. The journalism trip to Nashville is also somewhat better news. The company hosting the conference refunded our registration fee entirely, so that's good. Southwest Airlines, however, refused to give us a refund, but did agree to give us vouchers for future travel. That's about the best information I can give you at this time about trips. If you have individual questions, please feel free to email me and I'll answer them the best that I can. I will be contacting the district office to see what the plan is for them to help defray some of these losses. I did have a question yesterday also about sports and performances. Should we return to school on April 14th, as is the plan right now? I know that the NIAA plan is to possibly, and I use the word possibly in big, bold letters here, return to action if we return to school by the 14th. That might see us going right into playoffs. But honestly, I think we're still too far away to know exactly what that would look like. I think there's just too many unknowns out there at this point to really know how that's going to work. As far as concerts and other performances, I would say that it would be very difficult to reschedule all of those events in the short window that would open up if we went back to school on the 14th. I don't know the schedule for the venues that we use for those concerts, so I don't know how much wiggle room there would be for us to jam all of those events into such a short time frame. The best advice I can give you if you're an athlete or a performer right now is to expect the worst case scenario and hope for the best one. It's just too early to tell at this point. The next bit of information comes directly from the district, so I'm just going to read it directly from my computer here to make sure I get it all correct. In an effort to provide assistance for students and families, CCSD has created the Learning Line, a service where CCSD personnel can provide support for all students via telephone to maximize their learning through distance education. Students and families can access the Learning Line by calling 702-799-6644. Educators will be available Monday through Friday from 8 a.m. until 4 p.m. to assist students in both English and Spanish during scheduled school days. Medications at school. Parents are not required to pick up student medication maintained in the health office during this closure. However, some parents may choose to pick up controlled substances or emergency medications during this time. Please contact Health Services at 702-799-7443 if you have any questions or need assistance to schedule a time to pick up medications at your student's school site. Health Services will coordinate with the site administrator to schedule a time when medications may be picked up. On a side note here, if you don't already know this, Green Valley is a food distribution point, and that location is open from 8 to 11 a.m. If you need medication out of the nurse's office, you can speak to one of the school resource officers there, and they will either escort you inside or help you gain access to that medication as needed. Also, if you know of any seniors who do not have access to technology, i.e. the internet or a device to connect to it, please send me an email giving me their name so I can reach out to them directly to assist them with gaining access to this very important communication resource at this time. Also, if you know of any families in need, please let me know as soon as possible so we can get help headed their way. Students, as I said yesterday, it is very important that you stay connected to your coursework. Yesterday, I talked about the long-term benefit of doing so. Today, I'm going to talk about the short-term benefit of doing exactly that. For those of you who are juniors, sophomores, and freshmen, the reality is that at some point, you will be coming back to school as normal. And unless some unforeseen circumstance prevents us from doing so, that will be in late summer. At that time, we'll be getting going with classes the way we have for years, and that means we start at the beginning of the curriculum. As you know, much of the curriculum in many different subjects builds on the previous year's work, math, English, and science, to name a few. If you don't stay caught up right now, next year will be more of a struggle than it needs to be. The reality is, you don't have to do any of this stuff. You can just sit back, play video games, and relax until school comes back if you want. But I would encourage you to look at this differently. At some point in your life, you're going to want to get that better job or that promotion. But here's the thing. It's not required that you get that promotion or that you go look for a better job. That's completely up to you. No one is going to make you study the material you need to get the certification or degree you want when you leave high school. It's completely up to you. So now is a really good time to practice that mindset of preparing for the uncertain future. And I'll let you in on a little secret. Your competition is doing exactly that. So make the right choice right now. Our teachers and counselors are here to help you do just that in the most difficult of circumstances. So please reach out to them so you stay on track. And remember, we got this. Thanks for listening, and have a great day.